A book in 10 minutes presents. 1984, by George Orwell. Introduction to the author. George Orwell, born Eric Arthur Blair in 1903, was an English novelist, essayist, journalist, and critic. Orwell is renowned for his lucid prose, keen social insights, opposition to totalitarianism, and outspoken support of democratic socialism. His works, including Animal Farm and 1984, continue to resonate with readers for their profound political and social commentary. Overview of the novel. 1984, published in 1949, is Orwell's dystopian masterpiece. The novel is set in a superstate called Oceania, where the party, led by the omnipresent Big Brother, wields total control over every aspect of life. Through its depiction of extreme surveillance, propaganda, and manipulation, 1984 serves as a powerful warning about the dangers of totalitarianism. Summary of 1984. The novel begins with Winston Smith, the protagonist, living in a grim, war-torn London. He works at the Ministry of Truth, where his job is to alter historical records to fit the party's propaganda. The party constantly rewrites history to maintain the illusion of its infallibility and omniscience. Winston is increasingly disillusioned with the oppressive regime. He secretly despises Big Brother and dreams of rebellion. His feelings of rebellion grow when he meets Julia, a colleague at the ministry who shares his hatred for the party. Despite the risks, they begin a forbidden love affair, finding solace in each other's company. Winston and Julia's relationship is inherently political, a form of resistance against the party's demand for absolute loyalty. They meet in secret, away from the ever-watchful eyes of the telescreens. Their affair is not only an emotional escape but also an act of defiance. This defiance is significant because the party seeks to control not just the actions but the thoughts and emotions of its citizens. By loving Julia, Winston asserts his humanity and individuality. As Winston and Julia grow closer, Winston becomes more involved with subversive activities. He believes that O'Brien, an inner party member, is part of a secret resistance group known as the Brotherhood. Winston and Julia are eventually invited to O'Brien's apartment, where they pledge their allegiance to the Brotherhood. O'Brien gives them a book written by Emmanuel Goldstein, the supposed leader of the Brotherhood, which critiques the party's ideology and outlines the principles of revolution. However, this hope for rebellion is short-lived. Winston and Julia are betrayed by Mr. Charrington, the seemingly benign owner of a junk shop where they often meet. He turns out to be a member of the Thought Police. Winston and Julia are arrested, separated, and tortured in the Ministry of Love. Winston's torture is brutal and relentless, designed to break his spirit and force him to betray Julia. He endures physical and psychological torment, including facing his greatest fear in Room 101, a cage of hungry rats. In his terror, Winston betrays Julia, pleading for the torture to be inflicted on her instead. This ultimate betrayal marks Winston's complete submission to the party. After his release, Winston is a broken man. His rebellious spirit is crushed, and he is indoctrinated into loving Big Brother. The novel ends with Winston, now fully loyal to the party, accepting the party's version of reality. The final line, "He loved Big Brother," underscores the complete eradication of individual thought and the triumph of totalitarianism. Detailed themes and lessons from 1984. 1. Totalitarianism and oppression. 1984 vividly illustrates the mechanisms of totalitarian control, including surveillance, propaganda, and the erasure of history. The party's control over truth and reality demonstrates the extreme lengths to which authoritarian regimes will go to maintain power. Orwell's depiction of Oceania shows a society where individual freedoms are non-existent, and the state exerts total control over every aspect of life, including thoughts and emotions. 2. The manipulation of language. Orwell's concept of Newspeak, a language designed to eliminate rebellious thoughts, highlights the power of language in shaping thought. By controlling language, the party limits the capacity for independent thought and dissent. Newspeak reduces the range of thought by eliminating words that could be used for subversive ideas. This manipulation of language is a powerful tool for controlling the populace, as it restricts their ability to articulate and even conceive of rebellion. 3. The fragility of individualism. Winston's journey from a rebellious thinker to a submissive follower underscores the fragility of individualism under oppressive regimes. The novel shows how constant surveillance and psychological manipulation can crush the human spirit. Winston's initial acts of rebellion, writing in his secret diary, his love affair with Julia, and his hope in the Brotherhood, represent his struggle to maintain his individuality. However, the party's relentless oppression and sophisticated psychological torture ultimately break him, illustrating how even the strongest desire for individualism can be shattered under totalitarian rule. 4. The nature of reality and truth. The party's manipulation of facts and history raises questions about the nature of reality and truth. Orwell explores how those in power can distort reality to suit their needs, making it difficult for individuals to discern the truth. The party's slogans, "War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength," embody this manipulation. By constantly altering historical records and using doublethink, the party creates a reality where contradictory beliefs coexist, ensuring that the populace remains confused and compliant. 5. Resistance and hope. Despite the bleakness of the novel, Winston's initial rebellion and his relationship with Julia offer a glimmer of hope. Their resistance, although ultimately crushed, serves as a testament to the human spirit's desire for freedom and truth. The existence of the Brotherhood, even as a possibly fictitious entity, symbolizes the hope for resistance against oppression. Winston's brief moments of happiness and freedom with Julia highlight the human capacity for love and resistance, even in the most oppressive circumstances. 6. Psychological control and torture. The novel delves deeply into the psychological mechanisms of control. The torture Winston endures is not just physical but mental, aiming to break his will and reshape his beliefs. This aspect of the novel highlights the terrifying efficiency of totalitarian regimes in controlling individuals. The Ministry of Love's use of psychological manipulation, such as exposing Winston to his greatest fear, demonstrates how deeply totalitarian systems can penetrate the human psyche to enforce obedience and conformity. 7. The role of technology. The pervasive use of technology for surveillance in 1984 foreshadows modern concerns about privacy and government overreach. The telescreens and other forms of surveillance in the novel serve as a warning about the potential for technology to be used as a tool of oppression. Orwell's depiction of a society where citizens are constantly monitored by the state highlights the dangers of technological advancements being used to control and manipulate people, raising important questions about the balance between security and privacy. 8. The corruption of power. 1984 explores the corrupting influence of power. The party seeks power not for any ideological reason but for its own sake. O'Brien's chilling declaration that the party seeks power entirely for its own benefit, and not for the good of the people, underscores the novel's warning about the dangers of unchecked power. The party's actions are driven by the desire to maintain and increase its control over every aspect of life, showing how power can become an end in itself. 9. The loss of personal relationships. In Orwell's dystopian society, personal relationships are heavily regulated by the party to prevent alliances that could challenge its authority. The party's control over marriage, sexuality, and family life is a method of ensuring that loyalty to Big Brother surpasses all other bonds. Winston and Julia's relationship, though ultimately doomed, serves as a rebellion against this control. Their affair is a desperate attempt to reclaim their humanity in a world where genuine human connections are forbidden. 10. The role of fear. Fear is a fundamental tool used by the party to maintain control over the populace. The constant threat of surveillance, the fear of being caught by the thought police, and the terror of Room 101 all serve to keep citizens in a state of anxiety and submission. The party's use of fear ensures that people are too afraid to think critically or act against the regime, highlighting the effectiveness of fear as a means of control. Conclusion. 1984, by George Orwell, is a profound exploration of the dangers of totalitarianism, the fragility of individualism, and the manipulation of truth and reality. Through its harrowing depiction of a dystopian society, the novel serves as a powerful warning about the potential for governments to exert total control over their citizens. Orwell's insights into the mechanisms of oppression and the human spirit's desire for freedom continue to resonate in today's world, making 1984 a timeless and essential read. The novel's exploration of themes such as the manipulation of language, the nature of reality, and the psychological control exerted by totalitarian regimes offers a chilling reminder of the importance of vigilance in protecting individual freedoms and resisting oppressive forces. If you like the content, please support us by liking the content, subscribing to the channel, and activating the notification bell to receive the content when it is uploaded.